And if you've become complacent, if all you do is go, well, I'll just follow the curve, and you're always going to be either behind the curve, or when it changes, you're going to be out of your depth. And it's the same if you're relying 100% on AI. The situation changes, like you say, your template changes. The what you're using right now is suddenly defunct and out of date, and you need somebody who's going to reinvigorate that system. You need somebody to understand the AI to do that. Otherwise, you're just going to be kind of standing still.
I think from a search point of view, AI can make a difference in giving speed, the initial speed that an investigator would require, getting to the areas where one would like to, comfort. So it definitely can help in narrow down. And then from a transparency of the entire process, probably every organization has investigation policy and all this thing. But now in the age of AI, we might have to give some reference to AI being used in what context. So let's say summarizing and all this thing, because then it becomes a public document within the organization for anyone to know that we use AI in what context.
We're in an environment where we are all very busy, very, very busy. The deadline was yesterday. The work needed to be done 2 hours ago, and we are struggling to meet those deadlines. What do you do? So, but that's still not a defense to say that, yeah, I used AI to actually get to a particular point, and that needs to change.
And I think this is where I think people also need to understand the difference between automation and AI. Because when we use a tool for a case law search, it's the automation part and it just follows set rules. So it can be that it might pull all the cases from a specific jurisdiction or from a particular date range. Whereas AI, on the other hand, it looks at the text and learns patterns. And it can also suggest various relevant cases based on the context and not just the keywords.
In EU countries, you cannot find these cases where attorneys are sanctioned for hallucinated cases. Of course, they are, but at least in Lithuania, I know only one case when attorney submitted 10 hallucinated cases, but Supreme Court accepted the cassation claim. And only after started review, they found that these all cases are non-existent. So now it's professional body discusses how to punish.
Implementing the new tools and also like relying on contracts. I was actually part of the implementation team of one bigger system in a previous company that I worked for. And being an auditor and an investigator, naturally, I'm always skeptical about what's written in the contracts. But the truth is that we are just reliant on whatever the big companies like Google or Microsoft or Amazon say in their contract.
Innovation requires innovating. Innovating is requiring thinking new things. So if you are on a road that people are trying to innovate around you, and you have to make this viable, like you have to make them innovate with responsibility, you also have to think outside the box. And this requires taking risks.